A really funny story here. If you guys remember about the whole Unite the Right stuff that happened in Charlottesville, there was this guy that kind of emerged that we all laughed at because he was basically what was dubbed the crying Nazi. Now, I do really want to quickly say that yes, we got some new lighting. It's not perfect yet, but I'm thinking it looks better, but it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress because I have to kind of fuck around with the settings and figure out what's the best. And I have to figure out how to get rid of certain things. But I think it looks better, but it's going to be because I don't know shit about lighting. So I'm just kind of testing the waters here. It may not be perfect today, but it's part of the just the progression, like the 76ers, hashtag trust the process. But anyways, back to the story. So this guy's name was Chris Cantwell. Now what ended up happening is he was at the Charlottesville march where Heather Heyer was killed, and a warrant was issued for his arrest, and he started crying. Prior to that, there was like a Vice piece done with him, which was like showing him all locked up and loaded with all these guns and looking like a badass and all this type of shit. And everyone memed him because he became the crying Nazi, because he was literally crying after the warrant was issued for his arrest. Now here's a raw story says, they say, a self-proclaimed white nationalist Chris Cantwell will remain in jail until he gets an alcohol monitoring bracelet, according to the London Times. I don't know why London Times would be reporting on this, but anyways, it's like London, but with the U after the second O, which is weird. But anyways, so what happened? Chris Cantwell, he got arrested on it's a misdemeanor charge, I think, of public intoxication. Now he's on bail for $25,000, I think it is. But it goes on to say Cantwell was arrested in Leesburg for public intoxication on March 31st. Leesburg police spokesman Sam Shanuda said, quote, after making contact with Mr. Cantwell, the officer observed signs of intoxication and smelled a strong odor of alcohol. At the time of the arrest, Cantwell was out on a $25,000 bond for his malicious involvement in the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally, where he illegally used tear gas and said the death of Heather Heyer, who was hit by a car during the riots, quote, was more than justified. After the police put a warrant out for his arrest, he was coined the name Crying Nazi for tearfully saying he was terrified. Officers also clarified that Cantwell was not being investigated for the distribution of KKK flyers around the city. So I guess there were also KKK flyers flyers that are being distributed around the city. But basically, this is very funny because, like I said, this guy has become a meme. Now, the Unite the Right rally and all of the subsequent rallies that happened were quite closely documented on the channel. At the time, I was definitely very actively posting videos, and I recall this very well. That's also why I wanted to talk about this, because it's so damn funny. Because I think it was Mike Cernovich or someone else who actually called this guy like a mainstream media plant, saying that like they planted him in so that he could then become an embarrassment for everyone to laugh at. But I don't think that at all. If you haven't seen the Vice piece that they did, they had like a video where they documented him, and he's just like, he's like, I'm always loaded, and he's got like literally damn near like 6+ guns on him, which is a crazy amount of guns. I think anybody would say that, right? And he became the crying Nazi because he was crying after the warrant for his arrest was issued. So let me know what you guys think about this. I just couldn't help but laugh. So basically what's going to happen is he will stay in jail because he was out on bond, right? He's going to stay in jail until he gets an alcohol monitoring bracelet. So I hope you guys laughed as hard as I did.